Welcome back to the Evolve podcast. I'm Rhiannon.
And I'm your better host, Brendan.
All right, we'll leave it at that. But for now, pretty much what this podcast is all about is self-development, health and fitness, and our journey starting as brand new business owners.
Let's go. Make sure that you share this around because I'm telling you right now, this is the best podcast you've ever seen.
Enjoy, guys. Ciao. Do you watch podcasts, Billy?
Yeah.
This is a bit of deja vu. Just to let everyone know, this is the second time we've recorded this. The first time, Riri made a boo-boo. And
Didn't connect the computer to the microphone.
yes, it's all right. It happens.
Billy's laughing at you.
I know, that's fine. That's fine. Things
I reckon
happen.
everyone, all the audience people are watching, are thinking the same thing.
There's a quote by Hannah Montana. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. So
Is that when she's blonde or brunette?
that's when she's blonde.
Yeah. That's when she's Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's
So
the other one? Miley Cyrus?
that's the
That's
one.
the one,
That's
yeah.
the one. Miley Cyrus. I'm glad we established that. Thank you, Brendan. Sorry. Thank you, Brendan. Yay. All right. Welcome back to the Evolve podcast with Brendan and Rhiannon. Today we have our good old friend Billy on the podcast.
What's going on, boys?
Let's go.
All right, we're back for round two.
We are.
We've got some newly loaded questions.
Beautiful.
We're gonna
Yeah, Billy wanted a refresh. I was like, all right, sweet. Refresh.
I just didn't want to repeat myself.
yeah, no.
But I'm sure somewhere along the line I probably will. But
You're gonna have to because
I will, yeah.
the whole thing got scrapped.
yeah,
So
that's fine.
So I
the
didn't
questions were
understand-
good too.
were.
I just didn't want it to seem like, oh, now I've prepared for it. Now I
Yeah.
know what to say. So that's why I was like, think of some new ones. So something different.
all right.
There's some new spanners in the works,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Well, Billy, tell the audience a little bit about yourself, what you do, and we'll roll it from there.
Okay. I'm Billy. I'm 23 years old. Currently studying a Masters of Clinical Exercise Physiology at ACU. And I did my undergrad of Bachelor of Sports and Exercise Science at UTS. Basically, my whole kind of life is revolved around sports. Everything I do is kind of sports focused. Ever since I was a little kid, I was kind of always outside playing. Of course, played PlayStation like other kids too, but whenever I was playing PlayStation, it was like FIFA or Rugby League Live. So it was still sports, basically.
And you played those two sports as well,
Yeah, played both footy and soccer.
high level.
Not high-level footy, higher-level soccer. Yeah, those are the two main sports. They're kind of the two main sports I still follow, like, religiously.
Yeah.
Kind of fell off from watching footy a little bit, kind of through the teen years, but then the last few years it's kind of come back to the top.
And
Sweet.
obviously, you're a personal trainer now. You're one of our personal trainers, and thank you for wearing that really nice shirt. I like it on
That's
you.
okay.
Yeah, where'd you get it?
I don't know, just fucking found it on the side of the street. As I pulled into the driveway, I wanted to, bro.
It's like you know when the Easter Bunny comes and they leave all the little
He
footprints.
found it on the side of the street.
No, the Dynamicrecov bunny left it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now you're a personal trainer, so let's roll it. You're a personal trainer,
Yeah.
so becoming a personal trainer doesn't really happen overnight. There's some sort of moment in your life that makes you go, okay, I want to sort of fall into this path.
Yep.
Sport is that for you? Was there a specific moment or like an event in your timeline that you remember that you went, okay, I'm gonna roll into this?
Yeah. It was kind of after I finished sport and exercise science. I always kind of knew that I was going to do a master's after. Initially, it was going to be physio. But I also wanted to take a year off to kind of get into the field, get into the industry and get some work experience. Because I know masters is harder and you do have to deal with clients a lot more. So yeah, I just wanted to get into the industry there and kind of find my way through it. That was kind of the main thing. Always, like from a young age, I started gym as well. I was 14 when I started gym, but then I broke my arm, and at Crunch they had the policy where if you're under 16, you have to come with a parent or something. So then one day they just didn't let me in, even though I'd been going there for a year, probably at that time. So then I kind of stopped going gym for a little bit and came back into it, mostly because of my brother, really. I saw him doing it, saw him getting bigger, saw his confidence increase and everything like that. So I wanted to do that too.
Sweet. And you just mentioned before that you're at Crunch.
Yeah.
They had no policy about being a certain age to walk into the gym, so you're doing it from 14, you said?
Yeah, no, so their policy was under 16, you have to be with
Parental
someone.
guidance.
Yeah, you got to be with someone over 18.
Okay.
So when I
Yeah.
first started, I was with my brother who
Yeah.
was 18. And we went together a couple of times. And then after that, I was going with my mates who we were all like 14, 15, just going before school.
Oh, and you guys got kicked out.
Well, they never really gave a shit until one day after school I tried to go and then they just didn't let me in.
Oh, you
Yeah.
would have been spewing.
Yeah, so then I
That was like the peak of your career as a gym rat, you know?
yeah, that was the peak. Yeah. Like those kids that you see in the gym at the moment. Yeah, those little gym rats. Probably annoying everyone in the fucking gym.
Oh, bro, you done with that? How many reps left?
Stealing all the fucking equipment, doing 30 set workouts, that kind of shit.
Oh, yeah. Like 10 boys around a bench press
Yeah.
just waiting for it
Well,
to
we
finish.
only ever like went 3 max, but still the amount of like I had written down sessions in my like book from back then, and even when I started gym again when I was like 17, and like
So you
I
had like
didn't.
a 2-year break.
Yeah. After they didn't let me in, I kind of had that break, and I broke my arm around that time too, so I just stopped. But yeah, I looked back at those books of the sessions that we used to do, and fucking hell, like, everything's like 4 sets,
Oh,
but like
yeah.
10 exercises. You're doing like 40 sets a session.
What?
Yeah, we used to be in there for at least 2 hours. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But we were young. It was kind of like
You recover within 10
yeah.
minutes, you know?
and it was like the break before uni started. We didn't
Yeah.
have much to do, working a little bit, so we
Yeah.
had the time anyway.
Yeah.
But,
That's actually funny as I remember when I like it was probably when I was like 18 to 20, like within that range. I was going to the gym with all the boys. I was training with you as well at Crunch as well, so
Yeah.
it's pretty funny. And we were spending like 2 to 3 hours in the gym,
yeah.
and it was probably like the same as you, like 40 sets. We didn't know what we were doing, and then we started educating ourselves a little bit more, and we were like, wait, we don't need to do 6 sets of bench.
Yeah,
We don't
yeah.
need to do this much of this.
I think as you get I think as you get older, you start to realize what
Yeah.
what your body actually needs,
100%.
and
yeah.
you taper away from like 40 sets.
And you don't have as much time anymore, so
Yeah.
you've got to kind of figure out a way to fit it in into like an hour,
100%.
hour and a half.
Well, that was like me and Brendan went to the gym the other day, and Brendan's like, I've got the team meeting in about half an hour. I was like, shit, I've got to train. He's like, that's all right, we'll smash it out.
Yeah.
30 minutes done.
Yeah.
And he's just like, do this, do this, do this. I'm like, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. My body's got to slow down. I'm sitting there in the team meeting just like this and nodding off. But that's a good segue. So essentially what you did was you had that inspiration of your brother.
Yeah.
He took you to the gym. And then you became a personal trainer.
Yep.
And then now you're here with us.
Yes.
You're a personal trainer with us, and you've been our longest serving trainer.
Yes, I have been.
Our first.
Our first,
Yeah.
sorry, fuck, you thought I got it. Our first trainer.
We said this yesterday.
I know.
Our first ever hire.
Our first
There you
ever hire through a mate of ours who knew your brother actually.
Yeah.
They
At the
worked
time.
together.
They worked together.
Yeah, yeah.
What did you like about Dynamicrecov that sort of fit you?
Yeah. So yeah, I was working for you guys. I was also working for the gym in Hurstville. And the gym in Hurstville, it's like they help you a lot, but it's more so like kind of do it yourself in finding clients, calling clients, all that kind of stuff. I quickly realized I'm not the best at that, at sales at all. So I think what helped a lot is that you guys kind of take most of that role on. You guys do the sales, you guys find the people, and then we just have to do the console like any other PT would. That was something I liked the most because then it let me focus on the work I was doing mainly.
Like the actual coaching part.
Yeah, which is the part that I like, the part that I enjoy. And I probably could have delved deeper into the whole sales side of it. I'm sure it will come in handy at some point. And I have gotten better over the years. But I just knew I wasn't good at it. I could feel it.
And you probably realised that you were going to go do your masters and
Yeah.
work in clinic anyway where you wouldn't need to do sales.
Yeah, exactly. That was the main thing too. I knew I was going to go back to uni. So that year off was basically just work. That was the plan, just to work as much as I could, get some experience. And like you said, I knew that going back into masters, I'm not really going to have to sell myself much.
Yeah,
So I
because you're going to
kind
be working on the brand that's already set up.
Yeah. So I didn't want to focus too much on the sales side. Maybe that's a bit stupid, probably a little bit lazy too, I'd say. But I kind of learned that along the way throughout the 2 years. Yeah.
Well, there's two types of, I guess, fitness businesses in the industry. You've worked actually for both sides.
Yeah.
One that's more consult based, like what we do, where we kind of set you up with a client that's already interested.
Yeah.
But then there's other ones where they've got the rental model, sort of what your brother kind of does, working in gyms where you have to pay them rents.
Yeah.
But then it's on you to get clients.
Yeah.
So it's sort of creating your own business type thing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the two directions that you're kind of going down. And you decided, hey, I'd rather just go to a place where the clients are given to me and I can just focus more on the coaching side.
Yeah.
For you, what would you give like a tip to an up and coming PT? Would you tell them to go to the gym and figure out on their own, or go to a gym like us?
Yeah. I'd say kind of like I did, probably do a little bit of both. It depends what your goal is. If your goal is to just work as much as you can and earn money and you don't really care too much about learning how to sell or anything, then I'd say just go to you guys. You guys do all the hard part in that sense. Like if your passion is just to actually coach people, then you guys are better. If you feel like you're pretty good at sales and personable already, then give the gym a go as well.
Yeah.
And did you find having
That's good though, having like a mix of both.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the best tip.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, did you have like an epiphany moment being in both and going, oh, okay, I can find my strength in either one? So did it give you that opportunity to see where your strengths were at?
Yeah. Like, I know I'm like very personable. Like I can talk to people, I can get along with people very well. I saw that in both. Like you can kind of get that from the consults and everything. But the part that was hard for me with sales is just I feel bad for people. As soon as I can kind of tell someone doesn't want to do it, it's hard for me to then go and try and change their mind.
Like when there's an objection or something like that.
Like I can get through the small objections and whatever, and I know what to say, but if I can kind of feel that their energy's off, I don't want to push it too much. Like I feel bad. I feel like I'm kind of pushing it for no reason. Especially even the people that like everything lines up. Like they clearly want this. Like, but I don't know. If I can just feel that bit of pushback,
that energy that they give off.
You can kind of just tell like their body language when
you don't want to come off as sleazy. That's
100%, yeah. And I don't want people to just be like, oh, this guy just is worrying about the money, because I want to coach. That's the whole point.
So you let us be the sleazy guys while you you guys chase up my clients, all right? I'm just going to kick back and train.
No, but the thing as well at the gym is like the team at the gym helped a lot with finding consults and everything like that. And they had this whole database where you could go and make calls. And they helped a lot. Like the management there is very good. But I just found that the clients that were coming in just kind of like weren't showing up to the consults and stuff like that. And
so
that
their
just,
commitment was a bit low.
Yeah, and it just made me really demotivated because I was going between both companies.
Yep.
So like say I worked some of our clients in the morning, and then I rush over to the gym to do a consult, and this person has told me the whole time that they're going to come, and then they don't come. And I'm like, well, fuck.
I remember that period.
Yeah.
You rushed the whole morning to get there on time, but then they fucked you over anyway.
Yeah, and you don't get anything for that. Like you don't get paid for a consult or anything like that. So that's kind of what pushed me back a little bit, because it happened a lot more at the gym than it does with you guys. Yeah. But also what I realized is that the clients at the gym who are coming for consults, they probably think you're just there all day anyway. So they don't show up. They're like, oh, it doesn't matter to him. He's going to be there anyway.
They don't have a concept for your time.
Yeah. People don't really understand what PT is like. And I didn't either until I kind of started it as well. But
Have you changed your mindset on what PT is like since you started?
Yeah, for sure. Like, because I didn't understand much about it at all. I knew you train people, everything like that. And then I like realized that it actually is your own kind of business. Like you got to run it like your own business. And if you want to do well, then you got to be on top of socials, everything like that, which I am not too good at.
I was just about to ask you that question.
He had that whole question primed. He was leaning towards
I could feel it coming. That's why I mentioned it. So I'm not too good at that. Like I said, my passion is actually just coaching people. I like to make people achieve things and feel better about themselves. That's kind of why I've gone down this path in uni too. It's like very rewarding to actually help someone achieve their goals. So yeah.
With client engagement during the session, that's something that a skilled PT or someone that's done PT for a little bit learns and develops over time.
Yep.
Was there a certain period within your personal training career that you had that moment where you were like, okay, I know how to keep my clients engaged, or I know how to read my clients?
Yeah. Look, I think kind of from the start, I kind of gauged it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, I can tell a lot of body language and everything like that. And I'm always asking questions. Like, it actually happened in a session today. And like everyone else, sometimes you just have those days where you're a bit down. So I asked my client, I was like, so do you enjoy training? Do you enjoy the gym? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, good. I was like, is there any parts of it that you don't like? So I think asking questions like that, you get more out of them, and then
Build rapport and
yeah, and you can kind of structure your sessions off that. Like we were speaking about yesterday. If I ask someone, is there any part of training that you don't like?
Yep.
And someone's like, well, I actually fucking hate Bulgarian split squats.
Yeah.
And they make me want to die every time I do them. Like I don't want to do them again. Then I'm like, okay, like there's other ways of achieving the same strength.
Activating your
muscle.
quads, there's different ways.
Yeah, so then I'm like, it's not like this exercise is gonna change you so much. It's like, all right, I'll put that to the side, and we can come back to it maybe later. So I think kind of just trying to get as much information out of them on what they like and what they don't like helps a lot to kind of keep that engagement.
Yeah,
I like that. Yesterday you were talking a lot about how in your football career, when you had coaches, they were very like authoritarian.
Yep.
And you like that coaching style yourself because you've always responded well to it. So like do 10 laps of this field right now. Just go and do it. And you like that type of coaching and you follow with that philosophy in your own training.
Yeah.
How would you describe that to someone that's listening that doesn't really know what that kind of means, and how would you actually prescribe it?
Like authoritarian, how would I describe that? Look, I try to do a bit of both, and like I said yesterday as well, it depends on the client. If I can tell someone's not going to respond well to that, then I change it completely. But the thing is, what people have to realize is your coach is never going to make you do something that they don't think you can do. So it's not like you're going to have a session on Monday and they're going to get their first ever 60 kilo bench press and do 2 reps. And then on Wednesday, you're going to be like, okay, let's do 80. Like, that's not going to happen. You're only going to give someone something that you actually know that they can do.
yeah,
So that's why I like that kind of coaching. And that's how it was for soccer too. Because, yeah, the shit that they make you do sounds outrageous. And it happened last night at training too. Like, it sounds easy. We did 3 laps of the whole field. It had to be under 4 minutes. Sounds easy.
Oh, that's quick.
It's pretty quick. And like we're only 1 week into preseason too, so we're not fit and we're just park soccer at the moment. So it sounds easy, and in the back of your head you're like, I can't fucking do that.
yeah,
And you may even say it out loud, I can't do it. And then you do the first one, you're like, holy fuck, that was retarded. And then you have 2 minutes break and you do it again. You're like, there is no way we're actually going to get 4 minutes on this one. And then you get 4 minutes. So coaches will only give you something that they know you can do. So that's what I try and explain to my clients, especially if they're like, no, I can't do that, I can't do this. It's like, well, I'm not going to make you do something that's physically impossible.
And even if it is, like, you don't have to hit the benchmark I set.
Yeah,
like, you don't have to do 10 reps, you can do 9 or 8 or even 5.
That's the struggle, I think, with people who haven't trained much as well. Like you say, all right, we're going to try to get 10 for this. They're like, there's no way I can get 10. Like, all right, well, just do as many as you can. And if you can't get 10, then we know for next time that what the actual benchmark is in that way. So yeah, I don't even know if I just answered your question or not.
But you know, when people like, I feel like people hit like a mental like barrier.
Yeah.
Once they hit that mental barrier, they believe in their head that they can't actually do it. But physically, they're actually capable of doing it.
Yeah.
How do you go about like coaching them to just be like, just push through, man?
It's
Just for
hard.
me, I'm just like, just do it.
It is hard. It's hard. With someone who really wants something, they'll just get it and do it. There's a lot of people that say they really want something, but internally they may not actually want it that much. So it's hard. You just got to kind of figure it out on the way. Sometimes even something small, like if you're doing a machine and you really want them to do this next one and they think they're not going to be able to do it, just put it on there without them knowing. And then they'll surprise themselves. They'll do 10 reps and then you'll be like, hey, did you just realize that we actually did that? And they're like, oh, and that kind of breaks the mental barrier. That's something I do quite a bit.
So be a little bit sneaky with changing the weights around. and
Yeah,
stuff
I like to
that.
surprise my clients. And like if I say like a minute plank and they're like, oh, I don't know if I can, then it gets to a minute. I don't tell them done yet. I go another 10 seconds and then finish. And I'm like, how was that? They're like, oh, it wasn't too bad. I was like, well, look, it's a minute 10. So you actually did more than you thought you could. That's one way I like to kind of break it. For the people that aren't really willing to push that hard, like I'll find a way to kind of get them to push.
Crack the code sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. My favourite one is when they're doing a plank. I like to just chat in their ear the whole time.
Yeah.
You've got 5 more seconds.
Yeah, fuck, that would piss me off.
So the weather's nice today. What do you reckon?
I'm just talking absolute shit the whole time. They don't realise how much time's gone past.
Yeah.
I made one of my clients who only thought she could do 40 seconds do a minute 40.
Oh, fuck yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so I mean the theory works.
It
He was
does
doing it to
work.
me yesterday, and I was doing what we were doing Nordic curls, and I'm holding onto the elastic, and he's just chatting my ear off, and I'm just going one after the other. He's like, but before that, he's like, oh, you'll do 12. I was like, don't think I'll do 12. He just didn't shut up, and I'm just going and going and going, and then all of a sudden 13, 14. He's like, so you did 15. I was like, oh well, there you go, theory proved.
It works.
Because
yeah.
in his head, he's not thinking about how many reps. He's just
Yeah.
like, when's this guy going to shut
Yeah.
up?
Yeah, when's he going to shut the fuck up?
When's he going to stop talking, bro?
When you said you speak in their ear, do you feel like get down into their ear, or you just mean you're speaking?
No, I'm just speaking.
Okay, that's what I was imagining before. I was like, I would hate that.
Oi.
Are you ready for the last 4 seconds of this rep?
I'd flip my shit.
Now going back to the uni route, was there a sort of period in time? Did you ever read? Was there reading involved? Were you reading self-development books? Was there anything like that to benefit yourself as a
articles.
trainer?
Not at all.
Yep.
Hate reading.
Yeah?
Hate it. I can't. Look, that's one thing I kind of wanted to work on this year.
Yeah.
Whether it's fucking
2025
Diary of a
goal.
Wimpy Kid or something, it doesn't matter.
Take one of these books if you
Yeah,
I'll
go
take
for it. There's a good book there, Burnout.
Yeah.
Brendan's read it back to front.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah?
believe in it.
Okay. Lucky it's there.
I'm going to
Yeah.
ask you about that actually later, but yeah, continue.
I just don't really enjoy it. I don't know. My mind, I can't sit there and read and not think about other shit. I don't know what it is. I feel like my mind's constantly going.
Yeah.
So I was speaking to a client the other day about this. Like I could sit there and read a full page of a book, and if you ask me a question about it, I won't know. But maybe I'm not reading books that I really enjoy. That's the other thing as well.
Yeah.
So that like I'm thinking back to year 8, year 9 English where they make you read
those shit
Othello
books.
or something. I'm
Yeah,
like, bro,
yeah.
fuck this. I'll watch the movie
Shakespeare.
instead, even though it's not the same. So
I remember that scene in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's in the book too. Oh, would you look at that?
Yeah, but you've done a science degree for what, like 4 or 5 years now?
Yeah.
And you would have read
Oh,
thousands of like articles
Yes,
that are
yeah.
like, these things are like lengthy as.
Yeah. In that sense, yeah, I've done a lot of reading like in that way, especially for assessments and stuff. You
Yeah.
have to go through the articles, and like at the start, you're kind of like,
And you would
well,
have picked them all up though. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
read them and understood everything that was in it, right?
yeah, you pick a lot of them up, especially because that's something that I do enjoy.
Yeah.
So
There
in
you
that,
go,
in
yeah.
that
There you go.
sense, yeah. Of course, there's some assessments where you're like, well, I don't care about this at all.
Yeah.
So you obviously don't like consume as much
You don't
of it or
have
remember
as much passion for it sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, but like I've definitely read a lot in that sense for assessments and everything like that, and I have remembered a lot of it as well.
Yeah.
But as in like sitting there with a book and
And
reading,
reading.
yeah, no, not since year 8.
Yeah, the only reason I bring it up is because Brendan and I have been talking about it a lot recently, and he's been listening to Chris Williamson,
Yeah.
who's a podcaster, and I didn't even know this until recently, but he put together like 100 books that people could read. What was it about? It was like 100 books, like 100 starter books for like
No,
self-development.
100 books that he's read that
That
he
he's read.
recommends
Ah, okay.
people to read. But one thing that he said in this podcast I'm referring to is that you should only read at your specific level.
Yeah.
So I was reading a book and I didn't know why I'd only read one page, had to go to the start, didn't know anything that was written on that page. Then I tried reading this book for months, but I kept on skipping that page, not knowing how to read it.
Yeah.
Or just reading the same page until you understood
Yeah,
it.
so I understood it. And bro, that book was taking ages to read. I think I got 10 pages in. And it was like 5 months of reading. Because I'd put it down for a week, pick it up, like, nah, I've got to start again. Nah, next week.
I'm very much the same. Yeah, it has to be something that I really enjoy. And
Yeah.
I'm open to, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, for you guys to tell me some good books that you've read,
Yeah.
I'll give them a go.
Yeah. Atomic Habits is a good entry level one.
That was our favorite starter
That
book.
was probably our first starter book. If you want to read a book that's good for like just an easy read, what is it? The
Atomic Habits is really good.
Atomic Habits.
Yeah,
There's
because it ties into your career as
the
well.
Daily Stoic.
Okay.
It's a page a day
Yeah.
for a whole year.
365 pages.
365 pages.
I can do that.
Yeah. It depends on the leap year. You can read the back of the.
Read the back of what?
Oh, you can read the back of the page because every leap year has that extra day.
Yeah, on that on the 365 page, it's actually split in two.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can only read it on the leap year.
Oh, okay. I'll just read the half. Yeah.
Now, going back to burnout, obviously you're putting a lot of effort into clients, and sometimes you tend to forget about yourself. And we spoke about this yesterday. Was there ever a period in the past 2 years with us that you had that burnout period?
Probably not until I went back into uni.
Yeah.
Like I said yesterday, the first semester back at uni was kind of the toughest one.
Yeah.
Having a year off and going from a bachelor to a master's. So that first semester was definitely very hard. I wouldn't even say burnout. I'd say probably just stressed and overwhelmed. Because I was still finishing everything on time. I was still getting to sessions and everything like that. But yeah, I just was very stressed for that first semester. And I kind of lost my own training and everything like that, taking care of myself, even diet and everything for a little bit. And I could tell because I was going to the doctor, I had high blood pressure, my cholesterol was increasing. I'm like, fuck, I got to change something.
Yeah.
But I knew what it was that I had to change. So yeah, I wouldn't say burnout, but that was probably the most difficult period of my life.
The last
so
2
far.
years sort of thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
probably.
your whole life.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
So would you say you've ever achieved burnout or been at like a burnout stage in a way?
No, I don't reckon.
Do you
I don't
believe in
think
it?
so.
Because we had this debate the other day on another podcast. Brendan didn't believe in burnout, and the whole thing was like what you said, like it's stress and being overwhelmed. That can be that definition of burnout.
Yeah.
But do you believe in it? Like, is that something you believe in?
I'm sure there is some way to burn out. Like if you're only having like 3 hours sleep a night and the rest of your day is packed like from the start to the end, then I'm sure at some point you will burn out. I believe in it somewhat. Maybe I'll find out once I finish uni and I want to try and start working just as much as I can. And I'll probably find it out for myself kind of where my burnout level is.
But you're already working 2 careers, sort of creating a business in it as well, because you have to be sort of running a business when you're working one-on-one with people anyway.
Yeah.
Plus studying full-time uni.
Yeah.
Plus you have your family and all these extracurriculars and your sports and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You're doing a lot more than the average person.
Yeah.
And you're saying
Sometimes
you've
I
never
forget
achieved-
that too. Yeah.
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 And you're saying you never achieved burnout or anything.
No, I don't think so yet. I
I
think,
don't believe in it then.
yeah. I'm still young, but I've still got energy.
You're still young.
Yeah.
There's
So
still a lot. Like, how old are you now?
22.
Yeah.
So
We're
what time?
25. There's a whole 3 years there.
Well,
Also, because we're 25, we just achieved burnout now.
yeah, quarter century.
I'm just, mate. It's a quarter century, man. You don't know what will happen in 3 years. 2 years ago, we started this business. We didn't think we'd be here.
There you
Yeah,
go.
well, Billy's age.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. There you go. You never know.
See where I am at
I'm not
25.
saying I'm not forcing it on people to believe in burnout.
Yeah, no, I know what
Just to
you're saying.
preface that.
Yeah. No, I believe at some point you will burn out.
And it
At
may
some
not be burnout. It may just be like, far out, man. I'm tired as.
Yeah.
Like I can't lift my head off the bed.
Yeah.
Exactly, but it just tells me that you're just tired.
Yeah.
You know, you're not burnt out, you're just tired.
And that's a fair point. But some people need a definition of it. Otherwise, they'll always think they're tired.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because if you just believe I'm constantly tired all the time, and you
Just
don't
go to
actually
sleep.
That's you know what, Brendan, you're fucking right.
Sleep,
You're,
bro.
you're freaking right. Now, here's a question to steer away from burnout. Otherwise, Brendan will keep going.
Gonna get angry.
Tired, go to sleep.
Now I'm tired and angry and want to go to sleep. Far out. all
If
in
you're not
one.
sleeping right, just have magnesium.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
There's always a
there's a
solution.
tip for you people
For
out
all the
there.
insomniacs,
All these-
just have a magnesium.
I've heard there's this magnesium stuff that you can put on your feet, like you rub it on your foot.
Yeah,
Have
I
you heard of
haven't.
it?
No,
Where did you hear about it?
I don't know. It's just
I haven't heard of that one.
it's
Let
in one of
me,
those research articles that have been written.
Oh, okay.
let me know how it
It's
goes.
probably in the burnout book.
The back page.
The back page.
Yeah,
366.
hasn't been a leap year yet. That's why.
Damn it. Oh, you skipped the page.
Yeah, I skipped
Ah,
the
damn it. Now, if you weren't a personal trainer, what would you be?
If I wasn't a personal
Yeah.
trainer, fuck, I haven't really thought about that, to be honest.
It's a deep question.
Because that's the first thing you did out of school, wasn't it? Like you went straight into sports science.
Yeah. And I had like the normal jobs, like warehouse jobs and everything, but it was COVID too, so that kind of ruined working a little bit.
When was COVID? Were you in school or was it?
No,
uni?
it was my first year out of school. So first year of uni. So I literally
Okay.
went to uni, first day ever.
Yeah.
Firstly, I went to the wrong campus. I went to Moore Park when
Oh.
this lecture was in the city, so I was already rushed.
What
Um,
was
you
you
did
doing?
UTS as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we finished our lecture. I met up with my mate, and we were going to go back home together on the train. And we get a message on the phone, and it's like, from the uni, don't come back for a week. We're going to have a week off because of COVID.
Oh,
I'm like, oh, okay. So no uni for the week. We're just doing shit from home. And
Yeah.
then after that, we didn't go back to uni for like,
The whole year.
7 months. We went for a little bit at the end of the year because we had to do some practical exams.
and the most of it was online.
And it was all masks and everything.
Yeah, we were in our practical exams doing laps of the basketball court with a mask and glasses on.
Yeah.
It was
So
disgusting.
his first year, I was in my third year
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah. And,
All of our
and
placements
gloves
were all
too.
online.
What the
Yeah.
hell?
Yeah.
Gloves, mask, and glasses to be running around. Like you can imagine.
It was cooked.
Yeah. And then you're
I don't
breathing.
think
the
that's
big-
healthy.
I had to do the beep test with the mask on.
Yeah, it's so bad.
What the hell? I mean, it's a good test.
Yeah.
But like,
Oh, yeah.
you're definitely getting like 4 points less than what you normally
Oh,
get.
yeah, 100%.
You can't breathe, bro.
Then you're
I
getting
I
angry
still
for
got,
sure.
Oh,
I got
yeah.
7.7. What would that mean?
Well,
Seven, I should be getting 11.
you know what, Brendan? If you want to prove that theory wrong, we'll test
Yeah,
it.
We'll
out.
do the beep test.
Yeah.
It's a Dynamicrecov beep test.
Yeah. Mask versus no mask. Who wins? Good content, Billy. There you
That
go.
would be good.
You can put some.
Oh, I'll actually host the beep test at
Yeah.
one of our team meetings.
Yeah, I won't be joining.
Yeah, I thought you were. He said he would be sick.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll be
yeah.
sick of that, yeah. But if I wasn't a PT, in an ideal world, some sort of like athlete, soccer player.
Yeah.
But realistically, I've got no idea.
Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Go Ronaldo.
Ronaldo.
I couldn't even tell you if I wasn't a PT. Honestly,
No,
I
he'd
haven't
be
thought of that.
Simakas.
Yeah, left back,
Do you have a favorite team?
Liverpool.
Didn't you know that?
I'll go. You guys keep talking. I'll just leave.
He's a Tottenham fan.
Oof.
Mm,
What the fuck?
apparently,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You don't follow?
I'm Chelsea,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
but he just everyone that's yeah.
Yeah.
When we went away. Let me explain as to
Yeah,
why I'm Tottenham because he just
So yeah, we went away like just
who's
between,
Tottenham. But
just after New Year's. We went on some camping trip.
Yeah.
Then I was in Kmart and the boys were asking they wanted like warm socks because it was cold as. Then we were just walking past like the jersey section sort of thing. And I saw this Tottenham jersey and I was like, God, that would be perfect for Ree. And
Yeah.
the other boys were like, why? He's a Chelsea fan. And I was like, I don't know. I just feel like it would suit him.
Okay. Did you say Kmart, by the way?
Yeah, Kmart.
bro, Kmart have
Tottenham
like
jerseys.
like pajama
Now pajama.
yeah.
pajama shirts, not like full blown
I know which
jerseys.
Kmart you were at.
I
Right? Yeah.
B-Tech.
This is in
B-Tech Rebel.
Stocklands. So then I got in the jersey and I was like, cool, mate, you're a Tottenham fan, yeah.
There you go. Did it suit him in the end?
It did.
There you go. You're a Tottenham fan. Oh,
Madison.
Yeah.
I did do a few celebrations of like all the teammates.
I did. Who was the other one? Son.
We did the Archer one.
Son.
Yeah, Son's
There.
this one. Archer.
There you go.
There you go.
What have been some key moments in your PT career so far?
Let me have a think. I'm not too sure. I don't know. I don't know the answers to
You
that.
made me come up with different questions, Billy.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't ready for that one. That's what you can tell. Key moments. I'm not sure. I
Or
think
like a big moment or like a big achievement you've had so far. So I can already think of one.
I'm glad you can. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I think just generally just helping people kind of achieve their goals in some way. Because a lot of the clients that we have through you guys are kind of like older, not old at all, but older.
In comparison to your other job in the gym.
Yeah. That was more kind of guys
Like younger,
my
20s to
age.
30s.
Yeah.
And then with us, it's probably more like the 30s to 50s
Yeah.
range. Yeah.
So I guess it's kind of helping those guys overcome and get to where they want, especially because a lot of them are like parents.
Yeah.
So they've got like 3-4 kids. So it's not as, I've never been in that situation. So I don't even have that experience, but actually kind of helping them achieve their goals and managing their training and diet throughout all of that.
Yeah.
It's probably kind of like the biggest thing.
That's actually sick because do you not feel like you have some sort of imposter syndrome
Yeah, for
when
sure.
you're in that situation? Because I feel the same way. I'll go into my client's house, they have 4 kids running around. I can see how stressful that environment looks.
Yeah.
I'm just like, you know, why aren't you getting 80 hours sleep?
Here's a tip.
Yeah.
So I'm
no,
thinking, like,
definitely.
how could I be saying that to someone that has 4 kids running around, who's waking him up at 5 in the morning, not letting him go to sleep until
Yeah.
11 at night? Like, it'd be tough.
Yeah. That's the thing. I'm very open with my clients about that too. I said that to a couple the other day that I have as clients. I was like, look, I said like, what's your goals for this year? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, look, honestly, I've never had 4 kids. I've never like had a proper like full-time job and had to look after everyone as well. I was like, I don't know what it's like, but like, I'll help you try and get there. But like, you just need to kind of get the feedback from them on what's possible, what's not possible to try and help them through.
I think it's really. Yeah, you go.
I feel like all you can do is try and optimize their life as much as possible.
Yeah.
Like if there's a scale of, you know, just being completely shit and not caring at all about your health and fitness journey and being, you know, someone that lives and breathes health and fitness and that's all they do, you just got to find out where on the scale your client kind of is and try to find out what is their goal. Do they want to be like super fit and healthy and that's all they want to do? Or do they kind of want to sit like a little bit lower where they can have a beer on the weekends and have ice cream with their kids, that type of thing?
Yeah, 100%. And like for one of my clients, it was like to lose a bit of weight and is a father of 4, I think it is, whatever. So I'm not going to be like, okay, let's start with calorie counting.
Yeah,
You're gonna
yeah,
do- So I was like, okay, so you just got to simplify it really for that and then try and accommodate to their actual lifestyle. Because not only are they cooking and eating for themselves, they're doing it for the whole family too. So you can't expect them to take more time out of their day to count their
Prepare
calories.
meals and all that kind of stuff.
Of course, if someone's like, I have this massive goal, I want to lose 10 kilos in 2 months and I'll do whatever it takes to get there, then you kind of go into that realm. But if it's just kind of general health, fitness, a little bit of weight loss, then you got to, try to simplify
Peel
it
it back
a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like being a lot younger and enveloped in the industry of fitness and health, these people seek as much information as they can through us, obviously.
Yeah.
But they sort of see a little bit of themselves in us as well from their youth.
Yeah, for sure.
And that youth that we bring to them, even if they are a little bit older, gives them that little boost like, okay, I can do it.
Yeah.
And we've learned as trainers to adapt our personalities, how we approach, how we talk to these people, how we give them information to adapt an older person.
Yeah.
It's just a really cool experience because we're able to now adapt our surroundings.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. Yeah, because like I said, I started with kind of people my age at the gym and that's easy. Like they all kind of just want to get big and everything like that. So it is...
Bodybuilding?
Yeah, more or less, yeah. So it is rewarding to kind of deal with some of the older-ish, not old, I just want to reiterate, they're not old at all. But older than my
Middle
other
aged,
clients.
Billy.
Yeah,
Middle-aged.
yeah, like parents kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it is rewarding to kind of help them through that as well and make them realize what they can actually do.
Yeah, that's actually nice. I like that. And something that I feel like defines a good PT, I wouldn't say it's like the most defining factor at all. It's definitely not. But if you have clients and those clients have been on with you for, you know, a long period of time, like you have a really big tenure, for example, a lot of the clients, you know, some of the clients that you started with us are still with you.
Yeah.
And that tells me that these clients trust you.
Yeah.
These clients are willing to, fork out the cash to see you every week, always turn up to their sessions. What would you say has been the way that you've been able to create and foster those relationships to become long term? Because it's something that I feel like not many PTs can actually do.
Yeah. I think, like I said before, I am like personal. Like I can get along with
Real.
people quite well. Yeah. I'm not a dick, anything like that. And I'm not too harsh on people. And like I said before, I give them option and I try and take as much of what they say in. But as much as I can't even fucking speak today, bro. Need a coffee. I try to take in as much of what they tell me to kind of help us through the process as well. So I think they kind of appreciate.
Feedback and-
Yeah, I think they appreciate that. And I'm always asking for feedback on either how the session was or blah blah blah, how they're feeling, kind of messaging throughout the week, trying to stay up to date on stuff as well. So I think that's kind of the main thing and main way I've built rapport, really. Yeah.
Nice.
I think a smile and a laugh. Trying to make them laugh, rocking up with a smile. If you're just
feel like
down
that
the
goes a
whole
long
time,
way.
it does 100%. Yeah, and even if you're not necessarily feeling the same energy back, say it's 6 in the morning and you can tell they're tired, they don't even really want to be there. Just try your best, make them smile, make them laugh, always crack a few jokes.
Yeah.
I think that's kind
And
of
wake them up a little bit.
yeah. I think that's what kind of keeps them on.
Chew their ear off while they're doing planks.
Yeah.
Make them hit a minute 40 without them knowing, all that stuff. Now, I'm going to go back to the social media side of things,
Yes.
because this is now a part of your social media. So
Yes.
is there a goal for you that you're going to set yourself with your social media?
Yeah, I'd like to post every week at least.
Yep.
Oh,
Whoa, whoa,
Did you
whoa,
hear that?
Whoa, chill out.
chill out, bro. Chill out, man.
Like a story or a post, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's kind of one of the goals for this year. The problem is my camera is shit. Like it's broken. So like photos,
saw it.
recordings look
Yeah.
horrible. That's my main problem at the moment. But yeah, I'd say to post something
Yeah.
at least once a week.
Yeah.
'Cause you've got all this education. You've got
I
all this,
know.
all this uni.
Like 5
so like,
years of
I know.
education.
That's the
under
thing,
your
but like I still got that imposter syndrome. Like
Yeah.
why would people want to like listen to me?
mm,
Even if I know what I'm talking about, I've gone through uni.
yeah,
But
it's
the-
tough to break that barrier.
Yeah.
You
I've
know
just-
a lot of stuff as well, because I don't know how we even got on the topic with AJ, who's at the same stage as you right now, doing exercise physiology, right?
Yeah.
He was saying how exercise helps with chemotherapy, or
Yeah.
helps with, that facilitating that process and allowing them to recover a lot better with
Yeah.
chemotherapy and stuff like that. That's something that we learned that I wouldn't have
Would
never known
never
about.
have known.
Yeah,
Never have learned.
100%. Yeah, and it's probably something you don't really think of too much because, like we were saying, like you see patients going chemotherapy and they're very fatigued.
You just picture them as people that are bedridden,
Yeah,
sitting
yeah,
on the bed all day,
yeah,
sort of thing.
100%. So there is a lot that we learn that the normal person just wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I think I'll probably have the imposter syndrome until I finish uni and then probably
I
go.
feel like until you start actually doing it.
Yeah,
you know?
until I go maybe even a year through. I feel like even once I finish uni
Just
and I get.
extending the timeline, Billy.
I feel like that's just how it's gonna be. I hope not. But
You
like
definitely know a lot about as a PT though.
yeah, look, like I know a lot about both. That's
Yeah.
the truth. Sometimes I probably just don't give myself as much
Credit.
credit as I should.
You've had clients for over 2 years, so obviously they trust your knowledge
Yeah.
enough to stay with you, right?
Yeah, 100%. It is true.
And you've
So,
put
yeah.
practice into play, like we mentioned yesterday. Like you've over the 2 years that you've been doing personal training, you've also implemented your university degree into it.
Yeah,
and now you're doing a
100%.
master's, and then you're going on to the next stage. For people that don't know who an exercise physiologist is or what they do, give them a little bit of a rundown.
Okay, so an exercise physiologist basically deals with chronic conditions, more or less. So anything from like cancer, like we were talking about, stroke patients, neurological conditions like multiple sclerosis, heart failure, anything you can kind of think of, we kind of deal with. And it's more of that long-term rehabilitation for them. Because if someone has like high blood pressure and diabetes, whatever it is, it's not going to be a quick fix. It's not like you're going to do a 6-week program and be like, oh, okay, there you go.
You'll be
Your high blood
sweet.
pressure is gone, your diabetes is gone. It's more of a long-term thing. So that's kind of what we do mainly. Yeah. Try to keep people mobile, healthy, to be able to...
Mobility.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, mobility, both in a sense of flexibility, but also
But
to
also
be
like-
able to get out of a chair
And be able to walk.
yeah,
and stuff like
100%.
that.
Yeah. Walk in public without feeling as
That fear of falling
yeah,
and stuff
exactly.
like that.
Yeah. So that's kind
That's
of the
different to
main
like my mobility, where it's just like stretching.
thing. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So that kind of mobility, being able to actually go around and do stuff.
Like daily living.
Yeah,
sort of stuff.
independence. That's probably
Yes,
the
there we
main
go.
word. Yeah.
Independence.
Try and maintain their independence, basically. Yeah.
You mentioned something about some baselines.
Yes.
I can't remember if you were mentioning those baselines as baselines of measurement for general health and well-being. I think you were talking about
Cardio.
it.
It was
like
cardio.
150 minutes of cardio a week or something.
It was like that's kind of the rough baseline for most conditions that we've learned about thus far.
Also conditions.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to picture people that have some of those conditions like diabetes and I couldn't see that person doing 150 minutes of cardio a week.
Yeah.
Of
So
moderate intensity.
so it's 150 minutes moderate intensity cardio and like 3 resistance sessions a week.
That's a lot.
Yeah. That's a baseline. Like not for everything, not for everyone. That's a baseline for most conditions. That's kind of the grasp I've gotten from the assessments and everything we've done.
Is that something you build them up to, or is it like
Yeah, you definitely
alright,
build
day
them up.
one, let's go.
No.
150 minutes this week.
Yeah.
Three,
No, 100% you'd build them up. Like we were speaking about yesterday, even though walking isn't considered moderate intensity,
it is to them. Is that what
you got to start somewhere.
Would you say it's a
Ah.
baseline that they eventually work up to be at a healthy rate, like a
Yeah.
healthy?
That you just basically, if someone's doing 0 minutes of exercise at all, you're not going to start them with 150 minutes of cardio a week and 3 resistance
Yeah,
sessions.
go for a 5K run.
Yeah, you're going to build them up. So whether it's maybe not even doing a whole 45 minutes of cardio in one go, maybe just breaking it up throughout the day. So like for someone with diabetes, going for a 10-minute walk after each meal to help reduce your blood sugar, whatever it is. And that builds up throughout the week. If you have 3 meals a day, 3 10-minute walks after each meal, that's 30 minutes a day, 7 times a week, 210 minutes there already.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it
It's
builds
all about
up.
perspective.
Yeah, 100%.
And that shows like compounding interest. It's like just 30 minutes a day.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not that, doesn't seem like that long.
Yeah.
But then over 7 days, that's 210 minutes.
Yeah. And even 30 minutes a day for someone starting is probably not realistic anyway. That was just an example I'm giving. But yeah, you just
They
got
can
to...
easily do like 10 or 15, depending
Yeah,
on what their
you'd hope so.
mobility is like. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
100%. And then, of course, the motivation and everything comes into it too.
Yeah.
So starting off is the hardest part, but once you get started, then you're kind of trying to build up to those guidelines. And again, for other conditions, it's going to be different. So like with peripheral arterial disease, you're going to have to do a different kind of mode of exercise because they get that claudication, that pain in their legs when they do walking or anything.
Yeah.
So you do more of that interval training. Whereas for someone else, you may do continuous
Or
training.
like circuit type
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, like interval training. So like,
1 minute on, 30
Yeah.
seconds off, that type of thing.
yeah. So
Like
the
walking on a
guideline
treadmill.
is like you walk until you get 4 out of 5 pain for this claudication in your legs, and then
Then
you have a
rest.
rest, and then you go again till you get that 4 out of 5 pain, and you have a rest. So every condition's
And every
got
time it's going to be building up a little bit more.
yeah,
Every time.
yeah, and then you're kind of trying to build duration first before you build the intensity really. So if they start with 15 minutes in the first week, then in the second week you're trying to build it to 20, blah, 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 and then you kind of build the intensity from there.
Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, I just want to preface again that every condition is different.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
every
yeah.
person is different,
different.
too. Like you said, someone
Every
may not
individual is
have...
going to respond differently to these.
Yeah, and someone may not have the mobility to actually go for a walk. So then you got to figure
Yeah.
out different ways. If the research shows that walking is the best, well, you got to find something else that they can do to actually help just
Yeah.
increase their exercise
Facilitate that
capacity.
similar response. Exactly what I
Yeah.
said before. You don't have to do Bulgarians
Yeah,
to get like strength in your quads. You can do other exercises.
yeah, 100%.
Alternative exercises.
That's actually interesting. It's a lot more complicated than I thought, if I'm being honest. And
Yeah.
if there was someone listening that might have some of these conditions that you were speaking of, you know, them just following that baseline is going to be very hard.
Yeah,
There's going to be
100%.
like loading involved, and it might not even be the best thing for that person.
Yeah.
It's going to be like client dependent.
Yeah.
So you guys are very much needed.
Yeah, 100%. Like that's a thing, and like as AI is kind of taking over the world, some industries it will kind of take over completely. But I think what we do, and exercise physiology and physiotherapy, all the kind of health related things,
Yep.
you can't really take it over because
You need that personal touch.
people won't have the motivation. Like you can have
They are.
AI tell you exactly what
Yeah.
to do. They're not going to do
Yeah,
it.
here's a program. Follow
Yeah.
it from a bot, but no one's
Yeah.
there being like, "Hey, how you
Yeah,
going?"
exactly.
your
No
day
one's
been?
going to push you to do it. No one's gonna
Motivation
build
to.
a rapport and make you actually want to come back and
Yeah.
do it more often as well.
How do you keep your clients motivated?
Setting goals, like small goals, whether it even be for like 4 weeks, like short-term goals or long-term goals.
Like what I said with you as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
Yeah. But also,
It's like I hate your goal setting.
but I also try and just remind them of the progress they've made. That's a big thing for me.
Reminding.
Yeah, yeah. So like if we're like 6 months in and someone's just done a 2-minute plank and that's their max, and before I even start training with anyone, we do those assessments at the start. So
Yep.
then I look back to the assessments from the start and be like, you did 20 seconds
Mm.
like 6 months ago. Now you're doing 2 minutes. So there is a change, and I just try and help them actually see that change, whether it's a figure like the plank or a feeling even. If they used to be
Yeah.
a lot more tired back then and they're not as tired now, then yeah, I kind of pull on those things to help motivate them to keep pushing through.
It's something so simple,
Yeah.
simple but so effective, because then they see progression.
Yeah.
And even if they have like a deload month or they go away for a couple of weeks, there's always that opportunity for them to look back and be like, "Hey, I did this.
Yeah.
You did it. You did a minute plank." So like the test that I do, for instance, push-ups, sit-ups, squats, plank.
Yeah.
You do that in the first one, and then every month after that, I see the little improvements. It may be 1 rep, it may be 2 reps, it may be 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But there's always that little bit of an improvement that they see that obviously gets them motivated and keeps them going.
Yeah, 100%.
What were you looking at? The exercise guidelines.
Oh, I really want to know.
I know, I
Did you
can
end up
tell.
looking it up after?
Oh, for the healthy population?
like
no, I
the-
didn't. No.
Oh, you didn't.
No.
Okay, so I'm really confused by this, and I still haven't looked it up yet.
Yeah.
Ray's looking at it right now, but yesterday you were talking about, and we just talked about just then, 3 resistance-based sessions per week,
Yeah.
and 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic or cardiovascular related activity. Now, to me, that seems like a lot.
Yeah.
And just thinking about it, I feel like that's almost more than what I do. And I feel like I train a lot,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And when I asked you boys, other than your soccer season, you probably do less than it.
Yeah.
And Rhiannon was saying he definitely does less than it. So how do you, would you say that we're unhealthy? Like,
No, I wouldn't say that completely. But that's the thing. Everyone's goals are different. For someone with a condition, their goals are very like
targeted
set.
to improving their conditions?
Yeah,
sort of
like
thing?
if someone's got diabetes and you're trying to lower their blood sugar, everything like that. So and there's specific guidelines for that, and there's papers to go off that. But like if your goal is to just strictly build muscle, even though you should be doing some sort of cardio anyway to keep your heart healthy.
You should probably do less of it.
I'm not even saying that, but you're probably just not going to prioritize it. That's the only thing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the only
You're
thing.
probably not going to go for like 10K runs if
Yeah,
you're
no,
preparing for
yeah.
a bodybuilding comp.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. So yeah, you definitely should still be doing some form of aerobic activity for your heart
Yeah.
and for everything else as well. But yeah, it depends on your goals.
All right.
Yeah.
So
It's funny, we're
there's
PTs and we don't know the baselines.
no. It's interesting because the thing is,
Because it goes to show like there's no such thing as a baseline because
Yeah.
when you meet someone, you find out where they're at, where they want to be, and kind of make sure that they're optimizing as much
Yeah.
as possible.
100%.
so for adults, each week, 2.5 to 5 hours of moderate physical activity each day.
What?
Sorry,
Sorry?
each week.
2.5
Sorry.
hours a day?
Each week.
What?
Each week. All right, keep going. What? I said 4 times. It's per week. Now for pregnancy, it's 2.5 to 5 hours as well, moderate intensity. For older, it's for people age 65 years and over. We recommend at least 30 minutes of moderate intensity of physical activity
A
on
day.
most
Every
days.
days.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
something like that. If you have no reason to not be active,
Yeah.
like if you've got virtually full mobility, you don't have any health conditions, whatever it is, then it's kind of up to you how much you want to do. If you want to be healthy, then you do as much as you can and as much as your time allows for as well. So yeah, that's the thing. Everyone's different. With these specific conditions, they've done like meta-analyses and everything on them, and they give you those guidelines from that.
A general
like,
baseline
yeah, like
sort of
this worked the best in reducing this, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So that's where that kind of comes from. But for like general population, everyone's goals are different. It's not as like clear cut as reducing something or whatever.
And that's why exercises are very different to nutrition, right?
Yeah.
Because with nutrition, you can actually say there is baselines and they're strict. For example, having 2 servings of fruit a day, having 5 servings of veggies, having like around 50% of carbs. Like there's actual numbers to that.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas when it comes to fitness and exercise, there's not really numbers on, all right, you have to do exactly 17.1 minutes of vigorous intensity exercise every day. You know, like there's no like baselines for that. It just depends on what you want to achieve. What are you going to sacrifice to achieve these goals and how are you going to do it?
Yeah. The thing is as well, but if you delve deep enough into your own goals and the research, like say you want to improve your VO2 max and you're a healthy individual, then you can find specific guidelines for that from meta-analysis and whatever. And if you want to really increase your muscle mass, then you'll find specific like set ranges, rep ranges, everything like that too. So you can find it, but then again, it just comes down to how much you actually
care, right?
Yeah, how much you want it and how much time you got, how much you want to do, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and how bothered you are to actually research it. Because have you heard of the Norwegian 4x4?
I think, I have. Is that?
That's a VO2 max.
Yes, I have.
It's like it's 4 rounds.
Yeah.
It's 4 minutes of like basically maximal intensity or maximal intensity for that 4 minutes. So actually you did it at soccer training just last night.
Oh yeah, virtually, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's like you do that 4 minutes of high intensity, but then your rest period is still active rest. But it'll just be like walking.
Okay.
Walking or like, you know, just definitely not running or doing anything like that.
Yeah.
Then you're going again, doing 4 minutes, break again, 4 minutes, break again, and you do that for 4 rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty intense.
Very last question. You've been obviously in the industry for a good amount of time. You've seen all walks of life. But it's obviously hard to make that next step for some people. So what would be a hot tip that you would give people who are struggling to make that step into a better, healthy, physical life?
A hot tip, just do it.
Yeah, see, I like that one.
It is the truth, but yeah, like...
Nike tick that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. More or less, like if you really want it that bad...
I've got a Nike tick here, don't I?
Yeah, other side.
Yeah.
Just do it. And if you don't know how to do it, find someone to help you do it. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the time people
These people here.
Yeah. A lot of the time people probably think that we're money grab. But like if you have no idea what you're doing, you can find out online and stuff like that.
Or
but
AI or...
Yeah, it comes back to how much you actually want to find out.
Yeah.
Or if you want to kind of take it cruisy and you don't want to do too much research yourself, find someone to help you.
Yeah.
But main thing is if you really want it, just do it. Yeah.
Exactly, 100%. And it's exactly what you just said. It's the people that are bothered to do it are the ones that are in that career, right?
Yeah.
Because you outsource everything related to accounting, right? To an accountant.
Yeah.
Because those are the only people that are bothered enough to research the tax laws and understand how tax works and all that kind of stuff. Have you ever done your own research in tax? Maybe like slightly, but not enough to do your own books, right?
No way.
Yeah. Whereas you're there going through research studies about exercise and health and stuff like that, where an accountant definitely won't do as much research as you're doing.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Which is why you've got people for these fields, you've got the people for these fields. Everyone just uses each other for their specific strengths and weaknesses, whatever it is.
That's just how the world turns.
Mm.
Like if I want meat, I'll go to the butcher. I'm not gonna go kill a cow myself.
Well, you're not hunting, are you?
No, I'm not hunting. No. But you know what I mean? So I'd say
Go to a butcher for your meat, guys.
main tip is just do it. If you got no idea how to do it or what to do, find some help to do it. Even if it's for 6-7 weeks, and you've got. Even if it's for like 6-7 weeks.
There we go. Class.
Just get into it. You'll learn a lot in those 6-7 weeks. If you do 1 session a week, 6-7 weeks, 7 sessions, you go through every body part, you learn. If you're still not 100% sure at the end of that, stay for a little bit longer. If you really like the coach and everything like that, stay for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And then,
And just do it.
And just do it.
There you go. I love that one.
Thanks, Billy. Appreciate it.
Cheers, Billy.
Thank you. Hopefully everything's recording today.
Yeah, fuck. Oh, Billy, want to come back tomorrow?
Thank you guys for listening to this week's episode of the Evolve podcast.
Brendan and I have loved having you throughout this whole podcast. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And if friends are interested, share it around.
Yeah, make sure you share and tag us on your Instagram posts, and I'll see you soon.
See you guys. Little boogie to finish.